you need these Roblox Game Passes. Let's watch this video and see what Roblox Game Passes they're talking about. One more thing, I want to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys 100%. I'm gonna keep trying to do more. Okay, I'm gonna keep trying to do different stuff. Right now, reactions seem to work, so when I do reactions, but yeah, thank you guys for 1,000. Let's keep growing, and I need to post more. I really need to start posting more, and let's try and hit 2,000.
Roblox is filled with games designed to make you spend every single Robux you own. Some can give actual benefits, some are scams, and some are big scams. But instead of talking about those games, let's go to the other side of Roblox with games that sell game passes that can be game-changing and are actually worth buying.
Yeah, okay. Sorry for pausing early, but there are actually some game passes that are legit worth buying. Personally, I've never really used the Game Pass except for Bloxburg. I was a big Bloxburg fan. If you know, you know. I used the Game Pass to add stairs in the game for the houses. I really like Bloxburg, but that's the only time I ever used Game Pass. So let me see what this guy's talking about here.
So let's start with a classic that has some of the most bought game passes in all of Roblox. Natural Disaster Survival. Natural Disaster Survival is one of the simplest games you can play on Roblox that's been around since 2011 with a pretty straightforward objective. Survive different disasters on different maps. There's really no need to buy its game passes, but if you do, the game becomes so much easier. Tsunami incoming, jump over it with the balloon and also take less fall damage. Close to dying? Heal with the apple and get an insane win streak. Tired of playing the same maps? Just vote for another one with the compass. With thousands of players every day, Stickmaster Luke has and still is earning millions of Robux from them. And because they're so cheap and hard to complain about, they're some of the most liked game passes in all of Roblox. However, there is one big problem with all three of these game passes. If you lose your right arm from a disaster, it's over. You can no longer use the items. Resetting to get your items back whilst looking this cool is really difficult. Next.
What? Yo! W or L Game Pass, if you lose your arm, you lose the Game Pass? That's crazy. That's crazy. I never knew that. I have the balloon in natural disasters, but I did not know that could be a way to lose it by losing your arm.
Next up in Jailbreak, we have a game pass that might seem kind of useless, but will help you more than you could ever imagine over time. Jailbreak is the biggest prison game on Roblox, where prisoners first need to escape prison, becoming criminals, and then police try to catch them. Criminals get money by robbing places, whilst the police get money for arresting them. And 99% of the time, you'll spend this money on buying better cars.
What if you can create
a
website by saying,
oh my
this
goodness,
is what I
stupid
want.
ads.
With Wix, you can't.
But after hours of grinding for money and buying a fast and expensive car, you'll realize that you made a huge mistake. You bought a car worth over $100,000, meaning you can't spawn it in anywhere like you can with the cheaper cars. Every time you want to use the car, you have to go to a garage or alternatively go to the spawn location of the car. But with the Pro Garage Game Pass, all your car problems go away. Right after you escape prison, you can spawn in any car you own with the best garage modifications on it from spawn. This Game Pass will come in more handy than you could ever imagine, especially later on in the game when you have a ton of expensive cars. The Game Pass is 360 Robux, so if you're not ready to spend that amount of money, then another good Game Pass in Jailbreak is the Duffel Bag. This doubles the money you get for 12 out of the 16 robberies in the game, basically acting as a 2x money Game Pass for the criminal team for just 240 Robux. But if that's still too expensive, then let's move on to the cheapest Game Passes in Roblox for the size of the game. SCP-3008 with its most expensive Game Pass being 12 Robux. SCP-3008 is a base building.
I really never understood why this game is so big. Personally, this game is literally so popular, and I do not know why. I've played it like multiple times, and I still don't understand why it's so popular. Personally, I will never buy a Game Pass here, but yeah, let's see what it is though.
Survival game where you're stuck in giant IKEA. During the daytime, you gather furniture to create shelter for the night. When the employees, which are normally peaceful, start repeating the same sentence over and over, suddenly start attacking you.
Excuse me, but the store is now closed. Please exit the building.
It's a great idea for a game, but there is a twist. Every time you leave the game, you need to start over, because everything you build and every item you collect only saves in the server you played in. When the last person in the server inevitably leaves, everything you've built disappears. Anyway, most developers would probably add game passes like more health and more energy, or maybe even make food last longer. But instead of making the game easier for those who bought Game Passes, Ugly Burger decided to make the benefits useful and cheap, but as fair as possible for free-to-play players. For only 8 Robux, you can get a personal watch to always be prepared for when to loot and when to hide, showing you when it will become nighttime and daytime. If you still think this Game Pass is unfair for free-to-play players, consider that the game might actually be more fun and scary without it. The stress of suddenly hearing the clock ticking when you're in an open area is something else. The other 2 Game Passes are waypoint based, which are markers you can put around the map to find places you never want to lose. One doubles the number of waypoints from 4 to 8 for 8 Robux, and the other automatically gives you a waypoint to wherever you die so you can find your base or items. But all in all, 28 Robux for all 3 Game Passes in a game that gets around 30,000 players every day. Even private servers which give you an admin gun are only 10 Robux. Does Ugly Burger hate money? Now let's go from Swedish meatballs to American burgers with the game Cook Burgers. Cook Burgers is a game where you work in a restaurant kitchen making burgers and fries for customers, but with random players in the server, making a simple burger game a lot more complicated. As you progress in the game by serving customers, you'll get different hats with different abilities, like the bun hat making you run faster and the microwave hat making all rats around you die. However, there is one hat in the game that has such a powerful ability that you'll never want to use the other hats again, and that will ruin the game for everyone else in the server. The X27 prototype hat obtained only by buying a Game Pass. Once you get a hold of someone, they can't do anything to get out of your hold except reset, and even then, what's stopping you from just picking them up again? But it's still not unstoppable.
That's a troll Game Pass, bro. If you're buying that Game Pass, you are a troll. That is a trolling Game Pass. Oh my goodness.
The first way is by proving that you're the best chef around by getting the Golden Chef's hat.
This dish is too powerful! Oh, it set itself on fire. Oh no. Oh god, don't look at that! Don't look at that! Why are you leaving? Why are you...
To get this hat, you first need to wait for a critic to come to the restaurant who will eat any burger you bring them and rate it. Then you need to make a cheeseburger, but with a couple more slices of cheese than usual. In fact, 7 boxes of cheese. Once the burger is complete, serve it to the critic, and if you made it correctly, you'll be rewarded with the Golden Chef's hat. This hat is immune to the X27 prototype hat, meaning players using it won't be able to pick you up. But there's still a catch. Whilst wearing the Golden Chef's hat, you can't use the X27 prototype hat, since only one hat can be worn at a time. This forces you to choose. Do you play the game normally without the X27 prototype, but stay safe from other players using it, or do you continue using the X27 prototype, but risk being targeted by others? Well, neither. There's another, more powerful option. If you spend another 300 Robux by buying the Manager Game Pass, you will become unstoppable. The Manager Game Pass lets you customize the restaurant, gives you new hats but with no new abilities, but most importantly, a manager outfit that has a special ability. It's immune to the X27 prototype. So since it's an outfit and not a hat, you can combine it with the X27 prototype. This lets you use the hat on other players, and even if they have the X27 prototype hat, they can't pick you up because of the manager outfit.
Why can't I build?
Next up, we have a Game Pass that was unobtainable for over 5 years in Tower Defense Simulator, or just TDS. TDS is a tower defense game where the objective is to place down towers to stop zombies from reaching the end of the map. As a new player, TDS gives you over 30 towers that you can choose from, but you can only equip 5 at most in a match, so this is where a lot of the strategy comes in. You need a good cheap tower for the early enemies and a powerful tower for the big bosses. You need to make sure those towers can kill special enemies like hidden enemies, you need a way to generate money, and you need to have support towers that help your attacking towers. And this is just for the basic difficulties. For special game modes, you're gonna need to go a lot deeper than this, and maybe even look at detailed strategies players have made, which go very in depth on how you need to play. But there is one tower in the game that is only obtained through a Game Pass, and it's a must-have if you want a massive advantage: the Swarmer. The Swarmer was originally released during spring of 2020 as a limited time tower for being an event, so you could get it for free. The tower was unique and decent for the early waves, but there were way better troops you could bring, and
This game reminds me of TDS, Toons Tower Defense, Platoons, something Tower Defense. It was like a monkey game, and there was balloons. I think this game copied it. If you know what I'm talking about, comment, because I think I know a lot of people know what I'm talking about.
Really sucked at killing bosses.
We died. We died. Swimmer Tower sucks!
So the event ended, and for the next 5 years it was unobtainable until April of 2025, where it was re-released as an 800 Robux Game Pass, and the tower was entirely remade, giving it a massive glow up. Before the update, the bees couldn't stack. All swarmers had to wait until the bee effect was gone to shoot it again.
Keep getting stupid ads.
Now with the updated Swarmer, this limit was removed, and it easily became one of the best towers in the game. You can now spam them and destroy the bosses with hundreds of bees attacking an enemy at a time. Without spending the 800 Robux on Swarmer, you need to spend a lot of time or Robux getting alternate towers that can do its job. The tower still has its downsides, which is mostly that it doesn't detect any type of special enemies, so it'll just let them go.
One of these here, and one of these here, and one of these here. Hidden. I forgot about. Well, dude, I tried. Well, look, man.
But this problem is still very easy to fix by just bringing another tower to help out, which you'd normally do anyway. The Game Pass is most likely.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not understand anything about the tower defense part, bro. Let's move on to the next Game Pass.
Next up we have Super Bomb Survival is another survival game like Natural Disaster Survival, but this time with bombs everywhere breaking the maps. And personally, I think this game is a lot more fun, because in Super Bomb Survival you can buy skills and perks with in-game coins to change up the gameplay. Skills are power-ups with cooldowns and come in 3 categories: movement, offense, and defense, so you can choose based on your playstyle. If you want to sabotage others by placing your own bombs, then offense is for you. If you want to get around the map quickly by yeeting yourself, then movement is a great option. Or if you just want a better chance of surviving, then a simple heal in defense is perfect. Perks, on the other hand, offer constant abilities with no cooldown. You can get bomb vision to see bombs through walls, fireproof to reduce lava damage, or even double jump to escape tricky situations. Combining the right skills and perks can create some very powerful loadouts, like a tank with extra health as a perk and a healing skill to die less. Or you can become a troll with summoning thunder as a skill that electrifies enemies, and a shorter cooldown perk being able to spam them. But there is a Game Pass that takes this to the next level, the second perk slot Game Pass. This lets you equip 2 perks at the same time and lets you make even crazier loadouts. For the tank you can add the regeneration perk, which slowly heals you, and for the troll you can add something like the wing perk, letting you fly around, literally making you the god of hammers.
Bro, that's actually the best Game Pass I've heard this in this video. Flying and being extremely buff. Those seem like Game Passes I would actually buy.
Now we have the game with the most basic yet most useful Game Passes in all of Roblox, Bloxburg.
Let's go! I said it. These are Bloxburg has the most useful Game Passes. I'm telling you, Bloxburg is literally one of the only games where the Game Passes, one of them, not all, not the only one, but one of them that the Game Pass is actually pretty important, bro. I'm telling you.
Has since 2016
Bloxburg players know what I'm saying.
Life simulators on Roblox, where you can work all kinds of jobs, roleplay with other players, and do things around town. But the main feature that everyone loves and that other developers still haven't figured out how to replicate is Bloxburg's building. It works for new players that want to build a simple house that's livable in, but also for pro builders who have a lot of experience building detailed mansions. With the insane amount of items there are in the game, you don't have to limit yourself to just building houses. You can also build restaurants, hotels, a store, or even Five Nights at Freddy's.
Why is Freddy kind of bad though? Like, is it just me or is Freddy kind of...
What is wrong with you?
However, since Bloxburg was heavily inspired by The Sims, a very popular life simulator series outside of Roblox, there's a problem. So The Sims is a free game, but it has a couple million DLCs which are basically the same as Game Passes. And the big problem is that these DLCs add features that you'd expect to see in the normal game, like different seasons, new jobs, and even something as simple as cats and dogs. Thankfully, Bloxburg's Game Passes aren't as extreme. You don't have to pay to make the map snowy during Christmas, and all the jobs are available for everyone. But there are still important features being sold as Game Passes that you'd assume are available from the start without having to buy them. The biggest one being multiple floors.
Multiple floors. This is what it was called. This is what I bought, bro. I swear, when I was coming up on Roblox, like when everybody was playing Roblox, this was the #1 Game Pass. Bloxburg multiple floors, because in Bloxburg you can only have, when you make your house, you can't have stairs, you can't have an upstairs. But with this Game Pass you could have an upstairs. It was cool, bro. W Game Pass. Out of all these Game Passes, I really like the flying one and this one. Definitely go check this guy out, and I'll see you guys later.